Today we are making blueberry pie bars, which I thought sounded lovely. So first of all, we need to melt some unsalted butter. Well, I don't have unsalted, but like that's fine. But first of all, we need to melt some unsalted butter. Half a cup. That's roughly 100 grams of butter. So mine will be salted, but to be honest, none of the recipes that I have made in the recent times had any issues with the butter being salted. The salt actually, if I'm honest, helped offset the sweetness of a lot of the recipes, and in addition enhanced the flavor of certain elements. So I feel either you buy salted butter or you just add a pinch of salt. So then we need some granulated sugar, half a cup, as you can see here. Great. Then quarter of a cup of brown sugar. So that's roughly what I have here. Seeing that I'm not going to keep the rest, it'll be a few pinches. That's why my bag is empty now. So then that's fine. So let's give that a quick whisk so that our dry ingredient is, okay, more to clean, but that's okay, Then we need 1.5 cups of flour. So let's see. Here we have 1 cup and half a cup. Roughly, yeah, that's half a cup. That's fine. Again, give it a nice little whisk to incorporate our dry ingredients. I noticed that a lot of the recipes that you find on the internet never mention this. Only some mention that, it's better to mix together your dry ingredients first, which I have done now. Pinch of salt. Like I said, don't need to do that because I have my salted butter, which is melted now, nice and lovely and melted. So like I said, this is the recipe for the crust and the crumble bit. So now let's see that we get this all nice and mixed together. As you can see, the crumbles are starting to form. You'll have some larger ones and some smaller ones. Just make sure that when you do mix it together, you don't destroy all of the crumble, because the longer you mix it through, the smaller your crumbles will be, because you're going to break apart a good bit of them. But you also want all your ingredients, of course, to be incorporated. As you can see, I'm making a slight bit of mess, but as I always say, that is absolutely no problem. And again, this is a recipe that you will be able to make with your kids almost of any age. Just make sure that they don't touch the hot butter. But otherwise, as soon as you've put the butter in, it's fine. Okay, then we set aside 3/4 of our crumble mix, roughly, because that will be our crumble on top. So let's put that to the side. That's roughly 3/4, don't you think? That's great. So let's get that to the side. And now I will use the remaining mixture to form my base. But as you can see, as always, my mixture is probably not going to last too much here. So, and I don't mind making more crumble, you know, so I'll actually use as much of my mixture as I can for my base. You just press it out so that you have a nice even base. So I know I am breaking up or destroying my crumbly bits at the moment, but I don't really care because I'm just gonna make another batch. You know, to crumble over it, just follow the recipe again to make a second batch. Because if you're like me, and a lot of dads, I'd say, share similar traits, you know, you kind of wing it. You know, you have your recipe, and that's fine, you know, because the recipe is good. It's good to follow your recipe. But you also can wing certain bits of a recipe, so don't worry about it. So, as we can see here, we have a lovely base now. We have no more crumble, but we'll just make more. So, let's see what we do next. Okay. Now we make our filling. Oh yeah, preheat your oven at 350 or 8 or on 200. Sorry. So now we get our bowl back. Ta-da! Here's the bowl. We add our egg. Well, could have added the egg straight in, but you know what? That's fine too. So let's put our egg in there. Then we use our Greek yogurt. How much do we use of our Greek yogurt? Half a cup of plain yogurt. You can use flavored yogurt even if you want to. But first I'll wash my hands because I have a bit of egg on it. I just realized. So half a cup of Greek yogurt. Again here, I'll just kind of bring it. Let's get this off. So yeah, nice bit of Greek yogurt. So then 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. Yeah, that's roughly a third of a cup. Then vanilla extract. There it is. It says here 2 teaspoons, but you know what? I like vanilla. So it's all going in there. So, and because I have a fairly large amount or a larger, base, then I think they go for an 8-inch or something like that in this, or a 9-inch. So like I will adjust my measurements. So then we have 1 tablespoon of flour again, just to bind it a bit. So okay, let's get this all mixed up. This is going to be the layer between our base and our blueberries. So let's just make sure that we try to get some air in. Air in a mix is generally a good idea. So let's get that in there. And we have some bubbles already forming. So that's great. Okay, then let's get our base. So, and make sure that we get all of our lovely filling onto our base. And if we notice that we don't have enough mixture, well, like here, like, you know, like it could be a bit more probably. So let's just see how far we can go and spread the love. Spread the love. So, you know what? That looks okay to me. I mean, they're bars, so we don't want them to be like too thick anyway. So we've done that. Okay, now we need our blueberries. Okay, we have those here. 12 ounces or 2 cups. I'll just put it in where the mixture was in. Then again, my blueberries are kind of sweet, so I'm only going to use 1/3 of a cup of sugar. If your blueberries are sour, you can of course adjust that to 1/2 a cup. Then a lovely orange, or trick question, or trick to there, it's a lemon. So let's make sure to cut our lemon. I'll just do that over here real quick. And let's juice this baby. So we have 1/2 tablespoon, or 2 tablespoons, sorry, of lemon juice. So number 1 and number 2. So that's great. Probably not enough. That's okay. You can actually just wash a second lemon and then do what I was planning on doing anyway. We just use our lemon and our zester and just get some of the zest off as well. Because if you like flavor, you know, or to enhance the flavor, then a bit of the zest goes a very long way. So of course, the more you put in, the more lemony it will be. So now let me just quickly cut that up. And almost wanted to say milk it, but of course I meant to juice it. So just get some of this pulp moving so that the juice can actually get into our container. So that's great. So that's a good bit of lemon juice. That's nice. And then what we'll add then is some cornstarch or corn flour, and that's 2 teaspoons. 1, 2. So let's just give this all a good mix. So because I have a little bit more lemon juice than it said on the tin here, I'll just sprinkle around some more corn flour or cornstarch and get it incorporated so that our mixture isn't too wet, because if the mixture is too wet, then of course it'll have to bake longer, and that'll just mess with our times and might burn our lovely blueberries. So now that they're here, I can just kind of evenly spread my mixture. So let's just make sure we get every bit of loveliness out of here. So, and then we'll use our spatula just to try to spread the love out a little bit more, because as you can see, our blueberries are kind of spread too much in the middle. So give them just a gentle nudge, gentle nudges. So now we make our crumble again. So half a cup of butter melted, and I'm just going to try to be quick here. Don't have any brown sugar anymore, but that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. So now let's get that mixed. Then what did we need next? Half a cup of sugar. That's great. Half a cup of sugar. Brown sugar I don't have. And then the 1.5 cups of flour. Just give it a moment for our butter to melt. And then I'll crumble it over. So look at that, great. My butter is nice and melted again. So let's get that sugar in here. And then 1.5, well that's the half cup. One so of flour, and again let's just try to incorporate everything nicely so that it crumbles away, and it crumbles. So as you can see, we're getting some nice different sizes here. Just want to make sure that I don't lose too much of my mixture. But seeing that I cleaned my surface down nicely, it doesn't matter if I drop a bit, because I can just pop it back in. So let's just make sure that we have all the flour incorporated. Okay, that's great. So, okay. As we can see here, we have some bits, or a lot of small bits, so I'm just gonna press it together and then crumble it apart again when I put it over my cake. So, let's just spread it out here. Some bigger bits, some smaller bits. Can see here, so now making twice the amounts, you know, just factor it in. Like I used to try to just buy the ingredients based on the recipe, but to be honest, I generally just have to make a bit more, because I use different sizes to the recipes, because just like us dads do, I forget to look at the recipe when it comes to what size of pan to use, so I just use the pan that's kind of closest. But as you can see here, we have it all nicely done and all nicely spread, and this will go in now for how long? Probably basically until it's golden brown, right? Expect around 60 minutes or until golden, and then you're golden. So as always, thank you for watching. Even though I make slight mistakes, but you know what, who cares? So and probably the more entertaining. So please follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and give us a like and a subscribe and activate the little bell on YouTube. And yeah, and if you like what I do, maybe go over to Patreon and visit me there. And you know, even a fiver goes a long way in making this all happen, and I'd be ever so grateful. So thanks everyone for watching, and as always, I'm Steve, and I am out.